What's going on, YouTube? I am B-Dobbins for the win, and holy shit do I have a commentary for you guys today. My hands are literally shaking just going over the implications of the email I got this morning. I have seen pictures and read detailed descriptions of a new Call of Duty titled Worlds at War, okay? That supposedly is going to be released in March 2017 on the PC exclusively as a free-to-play title. It's currently under development by a relatively obscure studio called Switchblade Gaming. It specifically mentions that it will not replace a new console Call of Duty in 2017. However, the COD that is released in 2017 will not release on the PC. To quote the article directly, Call of Duty Worlds at War is meant to appeal to a new market of PC players with high-end computers who are interested in the kind of high-tech games that a console shooter has not been able to compete with in the past. This new Call of Duty is meant to have a much longer lifespan than its annual console counterparts, with developers hoping to provide ongoing support and new content for years to come, much like other popular PC shooters such as PlanetSide 2, end quote. Now, I cannot prove definitively that the leak I'm about to share with all of you is 100% legit, but if it is a prank, it's the most elaborate prank ever pulled in the history of YouTube gaming videos, okay? I like to think I have a very strong bullshit detector. I built this channel around calling bullshit where I see it, and so far I am inclined to believe the contents of this email, alright? But you listen, and I'm basically just going to read most of this email and the corresponding article to you guys and let it speak for itself, and you guys can decide for yourselves if it's legit or not, okay? So I get this email, and apparently it's from a subscriber, okay? And it starts off, "Hey B-Dobbs, I am a huge fan of yours and the things you are trying to do. I thought I should share this with you. I got a leak for you that will blow your mind. I intern in the graphics department at Game Informer. I'm friends with a lot of writers, and this has been a huge controversy here for the last few months. See attached for a news article talking about a new COD in 2017. The studio head is this really eccentric, abrasive guy, and he was the main guy interviewed for the article, and he basically is a little too controversial. He insults other COD developers, talks shit about COD players, and is just kind of weird in general in the article. So here's the crazy part. This article was supposed to be the cover story of GI's E3 issue back in June. But at the last minute, Activision asked them to pull the article, and they did. I don't know much of the specifics, but I really think you should talk about this because obviously this wasn't journalism. It was just a puff piece and free advertising. And now GI is taking marching orders from Activision. And then in all caps, WTF. A lot of people here are really pissed off about it and want this story to get out, but the people involved are all under NDA and don't want to lose their jobs. That's non-disclosure agreements. And then all caps, help us. P.S. Do not show any graphics or pics from the PDA. Game Informer and probably Activision will take legal action, and they've already threatened to sue the writer who did the story if he talks. Now, obviously, I cannot independently confirm that any of this is true, and I would encourage you to take it all with a grain of salt for the time being. And if it's bullshit, then this guy must be really good with Photoshop, because attached to the email is a PDF file, and I opened it up, and it's 7 pages of what looks like a genuine Game Informer article. And if it's legit, I can see why Activision didn't want it going public, because the guy they're interviewing is a freaking weirdo. So I'm going to go through this article and give you a rundown of this new Call of Duty Worlds at War. It talks a little bit about the story and some of the new stuff they're doing with the campaign. From what I can tell, it seems to still be well under development. And then I'll also share some of the more interesting quotes from this lead developer, Arnold King, who could not give less fucks in this article. I mean, it's just bizarre. So the opening paragraph describes this new COD as, and I'm quoting now, a huge break from the traditional Call of Duty format in a number of exciting new ways. Call of Duty Worlds at War will easily be the most innovative and unique Call of Duty experience to date. Set in the year 2316, exactly 300 years in the future, mankind has made first contact with an alien civilization. These aren't your generic small green men kind of extraterrestrials, however. Species 1747b, as they are lovingly referred to by the campaign's protagonists, are a humanoid race remarkably similar to our own. The primary differences being that they have 4 arms and are, as a species, much younger than our own, still progressing through the industrial age. Worlds at War cleverly flips the script on the generic alien invasion narrative. This time, we are the superior alien race, arriving ominously in a mothership with the ability to dominate our technological inferiors. Though that may be about to change. It was no accident we discovered this world. We had been tracking a powerful substance embedded in an asteroid whose momentum we couldn't halt, and which had now landed on this mysterious, as yet undiscovered planet. Now, the four-armed humanoids below have stumbled upon an ancient power that is beyond our understanding even 300 years in the future. But we cannot trust them with it and must have its power for ourselves, and that means reclaiming it from the alien species below we have never made contact with. But they will not give up this new source of power so easily, and species 1747b has dark secrets of their own, which we have yet to comprehend and will inevitably have to confront. This is the backdrop to which this game unfolds. So, you see what I mean? If this is bullshit, it's very elaborate, well thought out, and well written bullshit, not to mention how authentic the PDF pages seem. Now, this is also where we first meet the controversial head developer Arnold King, who's asked about the game's settings and says, and I quote, "We're talking to fans all the time, asking them what they want. Sometimes they give really conflicting answers though. They are kind of stupid, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's like, they all want it in World War II, but they don't want to give up any of the special abilities you have in the future, like exosuits and stuff. How are we supposed to make wall running work in 1942? It's absurd. So I'm talking to the guys who hired me, and I'm like, hey, let me make my game. They'll like it, I promise. These guys can't make games, they're just kids, dumb kids. But the whole mentality is, customer knows best, which I think is a stupid way to do business, because, like, think about it. How can the customer know something they haven't seen or heard of? You know? Anyways, I figured it out in the end, how to give them everything they wanted. I'm just gonna have us crash land in the middle of some other planet's World War II. Then we can do World War II stuff, and people can still have their wall running. Some other guys thought we should do time travel, but I thought that was really, really stupid. And I can tell whoever wrote this article was having fun interviewing this guy, because you don't usually see quotes this long in articles, but this guy writes down every word, probably because he knew the shit would go viral if it had gone public. But you can see why Activision didn't want this published. I mean, on the first question, the guy has already flagrantly shit-talked Call of Duty players, calls them dumb kids. It's like he doesn't understand what is going to offend people, which is a common theme throughout this article. And now the article starts diving into the gameplay, which actually sounds really, really cool, and it's the main reason I'm really hoping this is real. It details a multiplayer campaign that is, and I quote, unlike anything you've ever seen before in a first-person shooter. The campaign consists of 6 levels, each with 3 distinct phases, with an attacking team, the technologically superior humans, pushing deeper into the territory of the defending team, species 1747b, who are now derisively, however you pronounce that, referred to as the mutants, partly for their extra set of arms, but also for their mutated appearance after exposure to whatever substance was on that asteroid. The combat is asymmetrical, with a standard match consisting of 2 teams of 16, for a total of 32. The multiplayer campaign includes the first PvP vehicular combat the series has seen since its namesake, World at War. Vehicular combat will include various types of tanks, helicopters, attack boats, and armored cars. As the game is still in development, many of the specifics are still up in the air. What we do know is that vehicles will have set spawns in the back of each team's side of the map, and are first come, first served. This is similar to how other games such as Halo or Battlefield have managed their vehicle play. Each team has its own advantages, with humanity possessing superior technology, and the mutants utilizing special powers granted by exposure to the asteroid substance, and of course, their 4 arms. For example, humanity can deploy AH-6 helicopters, but the mutants can dual-wield rocket launchers and jump exceptionally high, letting them pose an equal threat to the AH-6 as it does to them, which is just one example of the efforts to balance asymmetric combat in the multiplayer campaign. At the start of each level, the attacking team is given a set amount of time to push forward and take control of certain territories. For longtime Call of Duty fans, this will resemble the effort of capturing the enemy's home flag in domination, but on a much bigger map, with many more players. Oftentimes, there will be obstacles in the way, challenging the attackers with a wide variety of diverse objectives meant to incorporate gameplay from previous Call of Duty playlists such as Uplink and Hardpoint. For example, in the first level, while attacking a beachhead reminiscent of D-Day, the attackers must escort a truck loaded with explosives to the base of a wall and defend it until it detonates, destroying the wall and allowing the attackers to move forward, incorporating aspects of the escort and demolition playlists from past Call of Duties. There is also an ongoing game of domination in play during each match. There are a number of flags around each map that, when captured, serve as a spawn point to the team that owns it. Teams can fight for whichever spawn points they think provide the most strategic positioning for completing whatever objective they are tasked with. The campaign does not feature kill streaks in the traditional sense, but does provide many team-wide bonuses or advantages that closely resemble kill streaks from past Call of Duties, which can be acquired in a number of ways. For example, many of those spawn point flags also provide a strategic benefit, such as a watchtower capture point that, when owned, reveals enemy positions on the minimap, much in the same way as the Hater from Black Ops 3. Other spawn points might be things like field hospitals, which boost the health regeneration rate for anyone who spawns there. Other team bonuses are earned through a wide variety of side objectives that encourage exploration, teamwork, and diversifying your playstyle to adapt to each new challenge. These side objectives include things like rescuing hostages before the enemy team can successfully interrogate them and learn the location of one of your team's ammo depots, which, should they successfully attack, will cut the starting ammo for each player on your team in half for the next 2 minutes of gameplay. Rescuers must retrieve the hostages and carry them over their shoulder back to the safety of a friendly flag, while only able to wield a sidearm. Or you might be interested in stealing enemy intelligence reports from briefcases or hacking them out of computers and successfully returning the information to a friendly flag, which will be difficult because once you pick up the intel, you are marked on the map for every enemy player to hunt. You might also try sabotaging enemy equipment, such as garages to increase enemy vehicle respawn times, or radios so that enemies cannot see their friendlies on the minimap. The result is a deep and complex gameplay experience with a wide range of changing variables and moving parts. Throw in dynamic weather events and a randomized selection of 12 different times of day, ragdoll effects, and enhanced gore, and suddenly no two matches are ever quite the same. Asked about the decision to forego a traditional campaign in lieu of multiplayer, Mr. King strikes a combative tone. Okay, and I'm quoting him right here, right now, okay? Modern FPS campaigns are a joke, okay? Everybody's thinking it, I'm just saying it. They just exist for little kids to feel good about themselves, but for the rest of us, they are really, really dull. These guys think they are so cool because they can throw in some Michael Bay explosions and stuff it with cheap cliches from 90s movies. Developers have forgotten the importance of originality, okay? They do these campaigns just to check a box. It's not about telling a story anymore. AI enemies can't immerse you the same way a human opponent can, not even close. I don't want some scripted thing where you hold down X to watch a movie that tricks you into thinking it's something more than just a movie, when it's not. You're on rails and you have to be really, really bad not to get to the end. What we have is real, and it's immersive and unique. Multiplayer campaigns are the future. Everyone thinks they're a bad idea because you got morons doing games like Titanfall and Evolves and pretending they have multiplayer campaigns when really that's basically a lie so they can check the box and trick people. And after that, now everyone hates multiplayer campaigns. Just you watch. When I'm done, the multiplayer campaign will be the only kind of campaign anyone wants, unless they are some little kid or just stupid. So this guy strikes me as maybe narcissistic personality disorder. It's like he thinks people are going to talk shit, and he's already pissed off about it, you know? Anyways, moving right along, the article goes on to say, the gameplay serves to immerse you in a gripping story that pits two of mankind's darkest historical conquests against one another. Following mission success on each level, the winning team unlocks a 10-minute cutscene depicting each side's treacherous strategic philosophy. As the narrative progresses, you soon recognize the eerie similarities between both the mutants and Nazis and humanity in 16th century imperial colonialism. There are no good guys in this story. Only a symbolic clash of two armies who will stop at nothing to achieve their goal. From what story is available thus far, it is clear the asteroid substance acts as a kind of symbolic stand-in for mankind's obsession with power, reminiscent of the Ring in Lord of the Rings. In the first cutscene, there are already unspeakable acts of horror that might not be appropriate for this publication. Now, when he's asked about the story's dark undertones and shocking graphic content, Mr. King doesn't mince words. Politically correct culture is killing gaming. Violence by itself isn't edgy, okay? These other guys think they are all that because they have really, really violent cutscenes where a bad guy hurts a good guy or vice versa. But it's a joke. Like, was anyone expecting anything different? Real art is supposed to impact you. And if I have to hurt them to do that, then so be it. But I'm not gonna coddle them with the superficial violence and fake sadism that has defined other titles in this franchise. You got these coward suburban moms who coddle their kids and hide the world's ugliness from them. But guess what, mom? Those kids are gonna grow up and see ISIS beheading videos, and they're not going to know how to handle what that makes them feel. Why? Because of a lack of exposure to how ugly the real world is. I want to get a bunch of 7-year-olds on this game and scare them so bad they have to go back to sleeping with mommy. And this time, mommy can't say monsters aren't real, because this is real. I'm gonna blow your mind with some stuff that actually happened, like gas chambers, ovens, smallpox blankets, and much, much worse. Someone did this stuff, man. Sometimes you gotta cut yourself open and say, hey world, here's my blood. It's red just like yours. That's what I'm trying to do with this game. Like, what the fuck, man? The article continues, Worlds at War is still early on in its development, and the multiplayer campaign is only a small taste of the kind of innovation Switchblade Gaming is hoping to bring to this new Call of Duty. Open world MMO PvP, Dinosaur Island wave defense, map creators, and mini games you can play waiting in the pre-game lobby are just a few of the bold ideas being seriously considered at Switchblade right now. As for Arnold King, he fully expects their work to revolutionize the shooter genre. And it quotes him again here, look, I am the best game creating studio head that God ever created. This game is going to be bigger than anything you've ever seen before. It's going to be huge, huger than your mom's fat ass and my heavy balls. The For the Win query of the day is, what would you want in COD for for the game to be perfect in your eyes? What does your perfect Call of Duty look like? Thanks for watching. April Fools. This is Batman, signing out. Would the military... Okay, if you had a medical condition, would the military let you use marijuana for medical reasons if you were in a state that allowed that? Like California or whatever?
No.
That sucks.
No.
Do they ever drug test you?
Oh, what's that? What?
Do they ever drug test you?
Yeah, all the time. I told you that story about me almost peeing on the guy. Or pretty much peeing on the guy.
I don't remember that story. Tell me it again.
Well, I was getting a UA, and this guy was at like eye level with my penis right against the urinal, and I was peeing against the back of the urinal, and it was splashing into like sprinkles of my piss were hitting his face. So I just pushed harder, so it sprayed.
Why was he eye level? Why was he doing it that way? I thought you like go into your own little private room and pee in a cup.
No, you have to pee and they have to watch you pee, but he was just being awkward about it. He was a weirdo.
So he just sat down eye level with your cock?
Yeah, he had two of his hands on his knees and he was bent over right at penis level.
So they have to watch you go pee.
Yeah.
And did he back off when your pee started spraying in his face?
He just stayed right there until I was finished peeing, and that was the weirdest thing because I know my urine was hitting his face.
Was it like a lot? So it's sprinkling off the back of the urinal and hitting him in the face.
Yeah, I drank like a liter of water before I went in there, like closer to a 2 liter, just so you can pee right away.
Wow.
So yeah.
Do they usually just like
awful.
stand next to you, or where do they usually hang out?
Sometimes they just like, sit back, They make sure you don't have a fake penis and then just let you do your thing.
Okay, that is fucked up. No, I don't remember. I would remember you telling me that story. You must have told it to someone else.
I told you it, man.
No way, dude. I would remember that.
You were high. You were really high. You thought it was funny. You laughed.
Wow, I must have been really high if I don't remember that. Yeah, that's weird.